Guys, I had to jump on because God has been doing some incredible things this semester, even with COVID and everything happening. And this time, actually, through our alumni. This is our third alumni story that I've shared this semester because God is working with students even after they leave Sojourn. So, you guys know that sometimes we only get a year or two with students, and especially if students have never entered the church before, this faith journey takes a while. And so, we've stayed in contact with certain alumni to continue these stories. And so, just recently, Nate called me. And so Nate was a student at Salve and was an atheist in college, was pretty proud about that, and yet loved our community, found himself surrounded by our Christians in our group that loved him well. He loved the nature of our group, being able to question and have real conversations, and so he just gravitated towards our group. And so when he left college, just recently, he said, I'm going to try to read through the Bible in a year because I want to know exactly, what Christianity is, because I love what you guys do, but I'm just not there yet. And so I talked to him a few times this summer as he was reading through the Bible, of like answering questions for him, and just intrigued by his curiosity. I loved everything about him and his just his humbleness and the whole process of trying to seek out who God is. I just recently got a phone call from him that said he got plugged into a church. And a lot of this because of Sojourn and, our nature of, man, get plugged in. We want you to continue learning and having that atmosphere of asking questions. And so when he got plugged into a church, started listening and hearing more, and just recently called me and said that he wants to get baptized. He wants to be all in and figure this out. And so I love this story of Nate because there's a particular story when he was in college. He was running with one of our staff members, and in his head, without telling the other staff member, they were on a dead sprint near the end of it, and he ended up saying to himself that if I lose this race, then maybe there is a God, and maybe I should start questioning and really diving into who God is. And he actually lost, or actually he won that race, and our staff member lost. And he ended up telling the staff member that, like, man, I had this all negotiation in my head, but since I won, I guess there is no God. And I always made fun of that staff member, like, man, you lost the opportunity, you should have won. And I always gave him a hard time. It's interesting because at his baptism just yesterday, I ended up saying to him, like, it's kind of cool that you literally were running away from God, having any excuse you could to say there was no God, and yet the entire time God was pursuing you, that God was running after you. And that's just a good reminder for all of us that no matter how far away we think somebody is, or where God is, or in the moment you feel like God isn't there and you're alone, that God is always pursuing us even when we can't see it. And so I want to thank you for remembering Nate, thinking about Nate, praying for Nate, and God is still working in the midst of chaos even when we cannot see him. Thank you.